Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Walter here. Yeah, I've just been thinking a lot of about Megan actually, or M3Gan, as some people might call it. It's actually the horror movie of the first quarter of the year, and yeah, I've been just thinking about it a lot because I've seen a lot of reactions on YouTube as I go through my feed, and I do a lot of research on other YouTubers and what they're talking about, and a lot of them, you know, enjoyed the movie, and I think that this is why movie experiences are very important to me personally, because I do love to go to the cinema. Um, that love kind of died out during the peak time where I was going to college at the time, about 2014, and there was a lot of kids, a lot of people bringing in their babies, not even kids, like babies or like small toddlers that weren't really been like properly disciplined or taught to act properly in outside spaces, public spaces, or not really public spaces, at least like the cinema or the theater areas, or I guess you could say public spaces, because even like restaurants and airplanes, you'd have that problem. Yeah, so for me, I think the cinematic experience of being in a theater really mattered to me when I was like 13, 14, because I remember it was such a big event, that we could go to the theaters, and we could enjoy a movie together as a family, it was mostly a family affair. And I watched M3Gan or Megan or whatever you want to call it, the robot horror movie of the first quarter of the year in theaters. And as you know, I live in a third world country. I live in a very conservative country, and the censorship here is freaking like unbelievable. It's so unbelievable. Like, I remember watching Black Adam in theaters, right? And this is the crazy part. Like, it was literally Black Adam electrocuting the bad guys till they were dark, crispy, and like you can see the skeleton, but that's fine. But then, like, the practically the third act of this movie is um M3Gun, the doll, cursing out Katie for being essentially, ungrateful to her being there for her all the time. And I was just like, really? We cut this out? Like, the past, like, literally 2 scenes ago, we had the fucking doll jabbing the fucking knife into Ronnie Chang, and that was perfectly fine. But no, oh, like, like, it's so weird what passes for PG-13 in Malaysia. Like, I know I've heard like Americans talk about it in their country, like how it's so weird that the PG-13 is done in their country. But I think in our country it's even worse, because like, if you want to cut out the blood, the gore, fine. But I think that, if you're going to be a conservative, if you're going to be a conservative censorship board, you got to cut out the part where practically someone is killing someone else, right? Like, literally, you don't want people to follow that act. I don't understand why would you cut out the whole cussing scene instead of the killing scene, because the cussing scene isn't really offensive in my opinion. It's just literally saying, "Oh, Katie, you're such a fucking ungrateful bitch." Literally just three consecutive beatdowns of a person's morality per se, I guess. But it was a short scene. I don't understand the need to cut it out. And I spent 20 ringgit, which is practically 5 US dollars in America, but if you were to really do the proper comparison and inflation rates, I would say it's pretty comparable. Like 20 ringgit is practically 20 US dollars. I don't think it was worth 20 US dollars, honestly. Or even 20 ringgit. Honestly, it wasn't a worthwhile experience to go to the theaters. Literally after I exited the movie theater, I was like, no, I gotta watch what the fuck happened because I don't know. I can't judge this movie without knowing the end because I literally the third act spoiled the whole movie for me because I didn't know what the fuck happened. Why did they cut things out? I thought that just before the whole crash of the cabinet on the aunt's leg, that the doll jabbed her in the side, jabbed Katie on the side. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's what happened. But then I sat down and I watched it on the pirate version or on the pirate site, and I was like, no, this, like, no, I am literally baffled. Anyway, so that's why I guess it took me a long time to kind of sit with my feelings about it because I was like, no, I'm too angry, like, about the censorship part of it. It's gonna taint my review of the movie. I won't be able to fixate my thoughts on the movie itself because the first two acts I think was very boring, was very generic. It was a good comedy side of it. I think that the whole horror thriller aspect of it was very dull because it was taking a long time. But then again, I thought they were gonna do the slow burn, which a lot of classic slasher films do, which is they build, or or even a good thriller like Get Out. They build the suspense really well, but the build up here is more of a comedic side because literally the first scene you watch is the whole like Furby rip-off kind of marketing video that you watch. By the way, when I saw that, I was like, "Am I in the right movie?" So it really helped. It really helped to pull you in to that side of it because I was like, "Fuck! Did I walk into the to a kids movie?" Like I'm not ready for this, and then it brought it back to the real story, which I really thought that was a good angle to play, and really made me know straight away this is gonna be a comedy. So that, but don't get me wrong, there were some like jump scares, I would say, to really get you jumping in the scenes. I think that the whole third act is in itself one of the best comedy sequences for me because her dancing before she kills the Ronnie Chang boss guy was fucking hilarious. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? Like literally two seats like beside me, someone was like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like is so freaked out. But I'm like, dude, but like if I saw that in real life, I would be laughing my ass off as well. I'm just like, you know what? Just kill me now. Like I've seen all I need to see. But really, to the fact of this movie, how I would review it is basically watch a Black Mirror episode about AI and dolls. It's this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that we've been spoiled by Black Mirror because Black Mirror is one of the best series out there. Um, I would I would put it in my top five. Obviously, I think that Black Mirror has been one of the revelations of this my year. In doing these like YouTube stuff and all the movie stuff. And yeah, it was a great movie. I mean, it was a great series to launch these types of anthologies because after Black Mirror it was Love, Death and Robots, but I think that Love, Death and Robots is more of the comic book style anthology, and I don't mind that. It's just that I feel like some of it is detracting from the Black Mirror style, whereas I don't think really Black Mirror should have had a style, but it did. But it is the modern day Twilight Zone because it's the morality of what we as humans are going to experience if we are not careful with artificial intelligence or computers per se. Um, and I think that that's not really a big negative per se because I still enjoyed it. It's just the theater experience really did cut into the enjoyment, I would say, and it really ruined my enjoyment of the movie. I think that if I had a better cinema experience, and that's why I'm very very scared to go to the theaters nowadays. It's literally a gamble. It's literally 50-50. I could roll the dice and I could roll a nat 20, or I could roll a dice and fucking die immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a conducive country to go and watch movies. I would say that I did like the psychology part of it as well. I did like the psychological like breakdown of why she's, you know, being so close with the doll. And I mean, you could see it as well. You know, it's an implied message that the aunt wasn't giving her much attention. She was focused on her job, but Katie needed someone to be there for her, and she's like, oh, like if I had like a robot like Bruce, I wouldn't need like any other toy because it's so cool. But the aunt took it in a wrong direction because it's just like, okay, I could have a replacement then. Like, I could have a robot babysitter essentially, right? By the way, I think that's one of the plot holes that kind of gets to me because I'm just like, why couldn't she have gotten a babysitter, like to bring her own toys or whatever? I don't know. Like, I know it's a movie, I shouldn't really question it, but I was just like, just get a fucking babysitter and ask her to like bring some toys and take care of your niece for you. Like, I know she isn't well equipped or well prepared, but like she lost her sister as well. So I don't know. Like, I know her solution to things is always build a robot, but this is getting out of hand as well. But I think that one of the reasons why I decided to do this video is to basically come back to YouTube in a way because I do miss doing these type of like vlog reviews. It's just that I didn't have too much to say at all, um, about the movie seen last year. I think the most memorable was Black Adam because I watched that in 4D. My God, every action scene, whew, perfect. Like punching, the chairs were moving. I was like, oh, this is the best shit ever, man. This is the best shit ever. It really charged my testosterone. It really made me feel like a kid again. Like I was just like, oh, I'm flying with Black Adam. It's crazy. Oh my god. Oh, it was the best. It was best. It was the best experience ever. Contrasting it with M3Gan Megan is really fucking let down, man. But yeah, other than Black Adam and M3 Gun, I also have been catching up on anime as well. But I've just been busy, guys. I've just been busy. But now I'm a bit free, so I guess I'm gonna be coming back a little bit. But yeah, one of the best animes I've watched recently is Eminence in Shadows. If you've seen after the reactors, they've been reacting to it on YouTube. I was wondering whether to bring back the reactions or not. For now, I don't really think I want to go through the hassle of doing the editing and uploading the videos and having the copyright issues. It was in a very fun time for me, guys. I hope you understand. The other videos are still up there for you to watch. It was just a different time, I think, for me because I was ready to put in the work. I just didn't expect the real burnout that I felt because I was doing all the things myself, the marketing, the editing, the thumbnails. I know some of my thumbnails weren't really great, but I was learning. I'm still learning, to be very fair with you. Um, but yeah, I when I did the scaled down versions or just talking about what I really want to talk about, I think that really helped me. Even though I'm still a very small YouTube channel, I'm still at about 500 subs. Some are still sub to me. I think it's because people want to see what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that uh, Eminence and Shadows really got to me because it is kind of like anime Banban, um, but more in that like it's the Chunibyo Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like he thinks that this is all a game, but it's not really a game. And one of the other animes I really enjoyed was Farming in Another World. I think that if I ever had to choose to isekai, I would choose the isekai there because that is a very good way to think about like what do you want to do in your next life, because I think my life is pretty shitty, and that's why I guess I gravitate towards isekai a lot. I think one of the best isekais I've watched in my short anime lifetime has been Konosuba, and that was one of the. If you talk about comedies, Konosuba cannot be beat for me. I found Konosuba on a whim in during COVID times. Thank God for MCO. At the time, I was just sitting at home and I was like looking through my Netflix feed and I was like, "Ooh, what's this? Konosuba?" Popped it on, played it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is my kind of comedy. The timing, everything. Okay, some of the aqua scenes was like fucking annoying, but like other than that, it was fucking fantastic. Like so, sorry guys, bit tired. So for me, comedy wise, Konosuba is very hard to beat. Like I've seen some other animes try to replicate the comedy stylings of that, like overly cautious heroes. I think it almost it almost got there, but I think that um it was more of a deadpan humor, which I'm okay with. It's just like I'm not really into deadpan humor. I think if you're going with I think if you're gonna go with deadpan humor, you gotta go with OPM, One Punch Man. Um, that's a very good deadpan humor for me, but even then, it kind of gets a bit dull for me. I really still do like the slapstick kind of humor, which is the Konosuba types. That kind of humor really gets to me. But Eminence and Shadows is a good second comedy for me. It's a good second one. Honestly, I haven't watched a lot of anime, to be very honest with you. I tried watching ReZero. I never got into that. Reincarnated as a slime. I honestly feel that one season was enough. I didn't really get into the second season, and I think that there was such a big gap in it that I kind of gave up on Reincarnated as a slime. I was thinking, should I pick it back up just to finish it off? I couldn't. Um, I guess in a way it's the same for Blue Lock, because I tried Blue Lock and I was really interested in it and really into it for the first three episodes, and then after that it got too long to complete it. So I guess like I was like, nah. I already read the manga, so I know where it's gonna go. And I guess that's the problem with me. If I'm interested in something and then I read the manga and I see where it's gonna go, and I feel like, nah, I don't think it's gonna be any good in the manga in the way that they're portraying in the manga. In the way that they're portraying in the manga, it wouldn't be good in the anime, because I don't know how they're gonna translate that into a visual medium per se. So that's why I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna really try to watch Blue Lock again. But again, I'm very interested in football, so I just gotta wait for the mood to hit me back, and I'm like, yeah, I think I could watch Blue Lock again. What else was there? The one with the princess anime, where she, the genius princess anime or whatever that is, like, she doesn't really have any magical prowess, but she has her inventions. And I think that's a pretty okay anime. I mean, I'm not into Yuri anime. That was very much a Yuri anime. I very much preferred Licorice Recoil. If you're gonna go for Yuri anime, I guess, I don't really classify that as Yuri anime, even though I know there's a lot of subtext in there that could be taken as they are Yuri, in fact. But yeah, I think that Licorice Recall was a very good anime for me, just because I do like gunplay anime. You know, Arifureta was one of the animes that I found that I really enjoyed, because the gunplay was really great as well. Um, yeah, Reincarnated as I really enjoy the isekai genre, because I think it's one of the most interesting things that we share. The Japanese culture and the Chinese culture. Obviously, some Chinese people would say Japanese people stole a lot of things from China, especially the culture side of things. And there is some truth to that. I mean, the Japanese did steal the Chinese alphabet, reinvented it. But I think a lot of languages steal from each other. It's the way the world works, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Um, what else? Watch. I did watch the campfire cooking with my absurd skill. I think that's a good isekai anime as well. Especially for me, because I love cooking shows. I love cooking. I love cooking stuff. I mean, one of my favorite animes is Shokugeki no Soma, a cooking anime. Um. By the way, I told one of my friends, and I know, like, I thought that show was too much etchy, and I'm like, obviously you've never had great food before, because I've been there, having like a really empty stomach. You've had a shitty fucking day, and you just have some good fucking food, and you're just like, oh my god, this is the peak of life. And then you're just like, fuck, I'll never feel this way again, and that's it, you know. Um, what else? What else? What else? Not too much on the anime side. I think that I'm still looking for new animes to watch. I'm still looking to discover probably some new cartoon series to watch as well. Maybe, I don't know. And yeah, I think that that's about it. That's all I can think of, because essentially I just wanted to make a video talking about M3Gan and my bad experience. Like, the other stuff was because I just wanted to continue to speak on the other stuff I've been catching up on. I think I'm like, very excited for Into the Spider Verse this year for movies. Other than that, no real big interest for me. A lot of people have been asking me for Ant Man review. To be honest, guys, I don't really know if I want to watch Ant-Man, and I don't think I'm gonna watch Ant-Man. The last Marvel movie I watched was Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Controversial take. I didn't enjoy it. I'm sorry, guys. Like, it's not even about Shuri as the Black Panther. I don't care. My friend told me Shuri's probably gonna be Black Panther now that Chadwick Boseman has passed, and I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, because that's what happened in the comics, and I was like, oh, okay. I don't really remember the comics, because I was never a Black Panther fan. I was always a Spider-Man fan. Um, and this movie suffers a lot from the grief of having Chadwick Boseman pass very, very quickly. It's seen throughout the movie. It's all about, oh, oh, woe is me. Chadwick Boseman is no more. You know, and that whole, like, speech from Angela Bassett, I think, was a bit overdone. A bit overdone. I mean, come on. I'm a critic. I have to say these things. Like, sometimes I do have to nitpick. Like, I had to leave in the middle of it, because I had to go to the toilet, because it was so fucking cold in the theater again. A theatrical experience kind of ruined by the temperature of the cinema. Um, and I think I walked out on the perfect scene, because it was just Angela Bassett like Angela Bassett's character dying in the movie. So I didn't know what happened, but I had to Google, like, what happened to the queen of Wakanda, and essentially it's her passing away. It's just her being gone as well. So it's like Shuri's, like, rock bottom. She's lost her brother, now she's lost her mother. She doesn't have any emotional support essentially now. So it makes sense that she wants to practically heal herself, and do what's best for her nation, which is leave it to someone else, which is probably the Jabari, which I think could be a good idea. But then again, it's never good to trust your military with with governments. If you've ever known anything about military ruling governments, it's never a good thing. Uh, what else? What else? Marvel, DC, nothing much. Nothing on the new movie side. I mean, Avatar, not Avatar the last time, but James Cameron Avatar. I wasn't fucking interested. My sister was like, "Why aren't you interested?" I'm like, I was I'm not. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say. I'm not interested in Avatar. Yes, the scale is fucking great, and I hope to do a VR movie one day. Like, they just have VR for you, and you can be the and you can hear the dialogue. But like, other than that, I wouldn't want to spend money or time to watch this 3D scale of another world. I mean, for me, my kind of scale that I want to watch on the big screen is more of the cloud atlases, the floating cities. I mean, here you have floating islands, but it's kind of different because it's islands, it's a lot of greenery, and I think that the movie is quite preachy in terms of, like, oh, nature good, man. We should stop the progression of technology and appreciate nature. We don't appreciate nature enough, that kind of thing. But it's worn out, man. It's worn out. I think James Cameron should have left it alone. I don't know. I don't know if he should have fed into the peer pressure of doing Avatar 2, really. What else? I'm just thinking so that I don't I don't miss out on anything. Did I watch anything great? Um no, I think that's about it. That's about it, guys. I'm really tired now as well. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for still being here. If you're still here with me, if you're not, I understand. It's going to be a lot of very intermittent videos for me because I don't really know what the trajectory of the next step of my channel should be. I thought it was gaming. I realized that gaming is quite a community based, everything in YouTube is community based anyway, but at least, like, in terms of TV shows, in that time when I did it, I knew what was popular, but now I'm kind of not really in there anymore. I'm more of in and out. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.